Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be playing with the W7 Socialite palette again. You've loved the video that I did last time, and a lot of you recently, whenever I was wearing this makeup look, you asked me what I'm wearing on my eyes, and it was this palette. It is my go-to palette for this type of look. I'm in love with the textured shadows. These are so easy to apply, super foily. I mean, one little dip and one little swipe and the pigment is there. It is a very good palette. If you would like to see how I achieved this nudie pink sophisticated look, just keep on watching. Right, let me move my hair out the way. So today I'm going to start with a very unusual way. I'm going to start by applying my foundation. I don't often do this because I play a lot with colour. However, because I'm using W7 Socialite palette, I'm not worrying about the fallout, and even if there is a little bit, I'm going to be playing with like neutrals, natural colours, so I can always blend them in. Today I'm using Sephora Matte Perfection Foundation. I did a wear test on this just this past weekend. I really like it. It's long wearing. It has that natural matte finish, which I really like. I hate when a foundation is like dry looking. This is not. And my preferred way to apply this foundation is with a brush because it gives me a better coverage. And the next thing I want to do before I do my eyes is cream bronze. So I'm going to take Makeup Revolution Matte Base Concealer in 13.5. I really want to be bronze today, so this will give me like a nice start. Alright, and now the exciting portion of this video, the brows. I'm going to be using soap. I've got Pear soap. This is like see-through. I'm going to spray the soap. I'm going to take a spoolie. I cover my spoolie with soap and I brush my brows up so they are nice and fluffy. I really want that look today. This is like the best brow gel you're ever gonna have. Look how fluffy these look. I like it. I'm going to let these set. I think they are set now, and oh, they are set. My next step is nothing new. I'm using Eylure pomade in blonde and my angled brush. However, the technique is very different. So I'm going to take my pomade, I'm going to dip my brush in it. I always go both sides so it makes a nice point, and then from there what I want to do is add individual hairs to the tail of my brow, and that's probably it. I literally added about 10 hair strokes into the tail of my brow, extended my brow a little bit so I have a neat tail, and I'm going to do the same on this side. I would love to know down in the comments if you prefer this brow on me or the pomade filled in brow. It's less fluffy and very bold. It's a statement, although this is a statement as well. We're going to move on to the eyes, finally, my favourite part. I'm of course going to start with Collection Lasting Perfection as my eye primer. W7 Socialite Indulgent Multi-Textured Pressed Pigment Palette. This is what it looks like inside. You have a lot of mauvey tones, a lot of browns, and those amazing metallicness goodness, so I'm going to use that today. I'm going to start off by picking up a pencil brush, like a fluffy big pencil brush, and I'm going to dip into one of my favorite shades, Classy. It's like a beautiful chocolatey brown, and I'm stamping this. Picked up a lot. I didn't dust off my brush, and these are the consequences. So make sure you dust off your brush. However, if you do have fallout, just use a fluffy brush and fluff up. Don't press, just go next to the fallout and like try and flick it up. I'm of course going to wing this out, so I'm going on the outer third at an angle as if I'm pointing to the tail of my brow, past my crease, and using the same brush I'm just going to slowly do circular motions to blend this in. whilst doing the circular motions, I'm kind of moving that pigment towards the center of my eye. Wow, this is so pigmented. I forgot how pigmented this was. Well, in that case, I'm taking another fluffy brush. Actually, I don't want this one. In that case, I need to take a new clean brush. I'm going to use this to blend this in because it was moving my pigment way too high up. It wasn't going to have room to blend, and by taking a clean brush, it's going to help you blend. If you don't have many brushes, you could just clean this one and use that. What I'm going to do is pick up Classy again and reapply my colour in exactly the same fashion. The reason why I'm doing this is I personally like to build my shadows. In some cases it works where you pack on the shadow and just blend the edge. Sometimes that works, however I like to reapply the shadow, layer it. It just holds better and has a nicer blend. So I'm kind of going between the two brushes that I have, one with pigment, one without. I'm going to take that pencil brush and go to the shade next door called Polished, and I'm also going to apply this in that outer third. I want this there to give dimension. It is slightly darker than Classy, but I'm also taking that fluffy brush to blend the edge. The reason why I didn't do my concealer is that I can always fix my under eye. If there is a lot of fallout, I'll be able to hide that with concealer. As you can see, I always leave at least a minimum of like this almost very faint line just underneath my brow. I never take my shadow into my brow. I always like to leave that little bit of highlight there. And now it's time to pick the foily shadow. I don't want to be that, but High Society is such a stunning gold. Like, watch what happens here. It speaks for itself, and it's hard not to dip your finger in that. And the reason why I'm using my finger, not a brush, is these textured shadows, these metallic shadows, have well, essentially oil to make them super foily, to help that pigment kind of dissolve, and the warmth of your finger will help them stick and will help them make the shadow foily. If I was using a brush, it's difficult to pick it up and it doesn't give you this, and I want this. I left a millimeter in my inner corner because I can't fit my finger in there, and I want a brighter highlight, which I will do with my highlight later on. What I want to do now is pick up Classy once more on my pencil brush, and I want to blend the edge of where my textured shadow meets the matte. And the way I do this, very simple. I simply stamp, pat pat pat, so they blend nicely together. And since we're here already, I might as well reapply Classy in my outer corner and up to my crease. I'm going to take that fluffy brush and blend. Okay, I'm going to catch up with my other eye and I will be right back. Alright, second eye done. I'm now going to take a cotton wool pad, and I do want to clean up very close to my eye just in case I do have fallout. I don't have concealer underneath my eye, so I can do this. I'm also going to sharpen up the outer edge. For my concealer today, I will be using Catrice Liquid Camouflage. I've been back into this baby. You can even sharpen up the edge of your outer corner with concealer. See people doing that all the bloody time. So just go whoop. And you know me, my favourite way to pat in concealer under the eye is with a sponge. Today I'm feeling extra, so I'm also going to take a little bit of that concealer, put a little bit here to highlight my chin. I'm going to highlight my bridge and the centre of my forehead. I don't often do this. I don't like to cake up products on my face because it just emphasizes texture, but if you apply the tiniest bit, it'll look good. I just want a little bit of highlight. I'm now going to set with Fenty Beauty setting powder and butter, and I am only powdering the places where I've put the concealer, and I'm going to use a fluffy brush to take off the excess amount of powder. I know I look a little dry at the moment, but it will settle in and it's gonna look good, I promise. I gotta finish off my eye look, so I'm picking up the W7 Solstice palette. Solstice? Socialite. What's Solstice? There is a Solstice palette. Is that Anastasia? No, that's Subculture. Huh? Pencil brush again, and I'm picking up Classy on the very tip, and I'm going to put this on my lower lash line. I'm going to take a pencil brush, but that one is a little bit smaller. I'm putting Classy on my lower lash line, and I'm joining the upper lid with my bottom lid, making sure it all flows together. Actually, you know what, I wanted to put Classy all over my lower lash line, but I'm only going to put it 2/3 of the way in. I do want to highlight my inner corner, so I'm going to take my trusty Art Hat Revolution Rose Gold Glow, and I'm going to take that golden shade, really pack it on, fill that remaining millimeter of my eye, and I'm going to use this on the remaining 1/3 of my lower lash line. Really don't be afraid to fill all of this in right here. I want this look to be even smokier, so I'm going to line my waterline. I'm just taking a brown pencil, both top and bottom. If it smudges outside your lash line like mine did, make it work, just smudge this in. I'm even going to kind of make almost like a wing on my outer corner to really lift that eye. Okay, time to do the lashes. I'm going to start off by applying mascara. Today I'm using L'Oreal Paradise Extatic. And as always, you could just leave it there, but I'm going to put some lashes on. Of course, today I will be using Sminko.pl, and the style I'm using is Subtelny, which means subtle, and as you can see, it is a very subtle lash. These are like your lashes but better kind of thing. And you could call this the lash stretch. I'm going to contour just a little bit further with the Roxi Revolution palette. For my blush today, I will be taking Revolution Blush Sugar and Spice palette. I'm going to take these two bottom shades, the middle two, and I'm going to hit the tops of my apples. Just a bit on my nose. For my highlight today, just to save some time and the amount of products that I use, I'm going to take Art Hat Revolution Rose Gold Glow. However, for my face highlight, I'm going to be using that pink shade. For my lips today, I'm first going to clean up this mess. And because this colour will match this look perfectly, I'm going to take Sephora lip stain in 22. But because I'm crazy and I've been doing this quite a lot recently, I really like taking the shade 32 in the Sephora lip stain and putting this in the centre. And these are matte, so it kind of looks good with the highlighted face and the very shiny foily lids. Love it. Okay, here is my final like nudie pink textured shadows from W7 Socialite palette look. I really like this makeup. It's like my go-to makeup, and I highly recommend the W7 Socialite palette. I think it's like around £10 and it's so worth it. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. It was like a quick get ready with me without me actually like sharing my life. I passed my driving test yesterday. That's an update with me. Finally, I've passed. I'll be cruising on the streets You can see me in the streets. Oh no, yeah, I'm not a gangster, who am I kidding? Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed that. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Hope to see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. You are the best.